At 2026, INEC's continuous voters registration is on. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this afternoon, President Tinubu, Rivers APC congratulate by-election winners. Yaga Africa urges INEC to improve preparedness ahead of 2027 elections. INEC to release new election timetable for 2027. On the foreign scene, violence erupts across Mexico after death of notorious drug lord El Mencho. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated winners of the elections held in the Federal Capital Territory, Kano, and Rivers States, describing the exercise as peaceful and successful. He urged the victors to serve with humility and patriotism and to treat their mandate as a sacred trust. Also, the president commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, security agencies, and voters for their roles in the polls and praised FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for what he describes as his achievement in the territory. Tinubu says the successful elections further strengthen Nigeria's democratic culture and institutions and calls for continued improvement in the electoral process. Similarly, the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has congratulated its candidates, Lolo Henrietta Bulabari and Okalibe Napoleon Nyamaud Mapbo, on their victories in the Kana 2 and Ahoda East 2 by-elections. The party thanked members and supporters for their efforts during the campaigns, describing the win as a testament to the hard work of its leaders and faithful. It urged members to intensify mobilization ahead of future polls, particularly in support of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. The party also calls on the members-elect to work with colleagues in the Rivers State House of Assembly to promote good governance, transparency, and quality representation. Now let's tell you about how the elections were won and lost. INEC declared the candidate of the APC, Okalibe Napoleon, winner of the Ahoda East Constituency 2 by-election held on Saturday, February 21st, 2026. INEC's returning officer, Professor Rosemary Owo, says the APC candidate polled 3,980 votes to defeat Ego Marvelous of the Action Alliance, who scored 33 votes. A correspondent who monitored the by-election across several wards and polling units reports generally low voter turnout. Some stakeholders attribute the apathy to different factors. The member representing Abua Odwa and Ahoda East Federal Constituency, Solomon Bob, says the off-cycle nature of the election may have contributed to low participation.
The awareness is not the same like when you have a major election during the season for it. That one for days, even months on end. It's a function of the fact that this election is an off-cycle, off-season election. In fact, a lot of people here, until yesterday I was told, they never knew that there have been any election here today. And a lot of them have gone to their various farms and river settlements, if not for the fact that we sent word the legislature to come and they should stay back and watch and then be part of the process.
Commissioner in the Local Government Service Commission from Ihuaba community, Richard Ewo, blames the low turnout on inadequate publicity, especially in rural areas.
I found that the election is quite peaceful. They are agrarian in the sense that they are farmers. Everybody is rushing to clear the bush. You'll be surprised that some of them, after a little while, because of experience, normally the voting material doesn't come early. So from what I found, some will run to the farm and come back and to vote. So there is no that wide apathy. And then again, the publicity of the election is not too adequate in the rural community.
Also speaking, the Vice Chairman of Ahoda East Local Government Area, Florence Oduku, alongside a councillor representing Ward 6, Ochiwa community, Ichibu Chimaji, shared different views on the voter apathy witnessed during the election.
As you can see, the mammoth crowd, they are trooping in to vote. And I believe that in my unit here, I can stand and testify that there is mammoth crowd. When I go to the other side, I will now know if there is a low turnout or not.
No, they are quite aware, and as you can see, people have started coming more and more. And very soon you will see that the turnout will increase. Around you see some of them coming, and immediately the church service is over, you see the large turnout that will come out. Most of them, as you can see, this is polling unit 6. It's very, very close to this SDA church there, and most of the people that reside within this polling unit attend that church. So immediately the church service is over, you see that the turnout will increase from here.
In the same vein, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Henrietta Bulabari, won the Kana 2 State House of Assembly constituency by-election in Rivers State. The returning officer, Professor Angela Briggs, declared Bulabari winner after she polled 7,647 votes, saying she satisfied the requirement of the law. The Action Alliance recorded 46 votes. The New Nigeria People's Party secured 37 votes. The Young Progressives Party got 23 votes, while Zenith Labour Party polled 47 votes. Out of 71,914 registered voters, 7,834 were accredited, with 7,800 valid votes cast and 34 rejected votes. Reacting, Bulabari says she is happy with the outcome and describes the election as free, fair and peaceful, promising to deliver impactful constituency project. While still talking elections, let's go to Abuja now. The All Progressives Congress dominated the just concluded area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory, winning 5 of the 6 chairmanship seats. The party secured victories in Abaji, Kwale, Buari, Abuja Municipal Area Council, and Kuje. The only other chairmanship seat was won by the People's Democratic Party, which emerged victorious in Gwagwalada. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has inaugurated a special legal team to challenge the outcome of Saturday's area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememobong, the party congratulated its chairman-elect in Gwagwalada, Mohammed Kasim, and other successful councillors, but alleged irregularities in the exercise. The PDP says the legal team, headed by its national legal advisor, Shafi Barao, will challenge the results and urged aggrieved candidates to act promptly. In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission is denying claims that voters were moved to new polling units during Saturday's area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory. The commission explains that it created split polling units in locations with more than 1,250 registered voters to reduce congestion, and these were only a few meters from the original units. The electoral umpire says voters were informed in advance through displayed registers, text messages, and emails. INEC acknowledges that some voters had difficulty finding their designated unit, but all polling units were confirmed open by 10 a.m. Still to come, APC Publicity Secretary commends National Assembly for Electoral Amendment Act. Stay with us. Now, the program coordinator of Yaga Africa, Ibrahim Farouk, is urging the Independent National Election Commission to improve its preparedness ahead of the 2027 general elections. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire on Monday, Farouk expressed concern over the low voter turnout recorded during the FCT Council elections and the Rivers State by-elections. He stressed the need for INEC to fully implement electronic transmission of election results to strengthen transparency and credibility in the electoral process. Farouk also calls for increased public enlightenment campaigns to restore voter confidence, noting that many citizens have become discouraged from participating in elections.
This is an opportunity for INEC to perfect its logistics and its deployment. INEC really needs to step on the accelerator in terms of preparedness with logistics, with the technology, with IREV, electronic transmission, and make sure everything works properly. INEC needs to start a massive public enlightenment campaign, whether voters have been reassigned or not. This is the only way that they can build public confidence and ensure that we see a reversal of this low voter turnout that we've been seeing since.
In the meantime, INEC says it will review the Electoral Act 2026 to comply with the law regarding schedules for the 2027 elections. The Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Adedayo Oketola says the Commission will soon release a revised timetable. Meanwhile, the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Felix Moka, is praising the Senate and House of Representatives for their pragmatic and realistic approach in passing the Electoral Amendment Act. Speaking on Channels Television on Monday, he reacted to the recent passage of the Electoral Act by the National Assembly and its swift signing into law by President Bola Tinubu. The President signed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026 within 24 hours of its passage, a move that sparked national debate and criticism over the speed of the process. Moka defended the decision, saying lawmakers considered the current state of communication technology in the country when passing the act, describing their actions as practical and realistic. Moving on now, Venocrest schools have advanced to the semi-final round of the Nigeria Info I Beg to Differ debate competition. The school secured victory after a heated argument against Christy Lacole International. Representing Venocrest were Clifford Mary Jane Oluwatosi and Sarimiye Diane Tamara Preye, while Christy Lacole was Stephanie Wariboko and Nashon Beulah. Both teams debated the motion that consumers, not manufacturers, are to blame for plastic pollution. After a compelling exchange, Venocrest emerged winners with 97.5 points to 88.5 points.
Firstly, manufacturers produce massive non-biodegradable single-use plastics derived from fossil fuels, knowing how much greenhouse gases it emits without carrying out any environmental impact assessments.
In trying to exonerate manufacturers in your points 1, 2, and 3, you inadvertently shot yourself in the foot, idiomatically speaking, by glossing over the obvious facts that consumers can indeed influence companies through their purchasing power, yet they often fail to do so. Simple economics shows that high demand drives production, but consumers' appetite for convenience products, single-use plastics like water, drives the demand the manufacturers supply.
And I ask, is it not the manufacturers that produce these bottles? Without production, would there be any littering? Have you forgotten that the manufacturer is a businessman with profit motives?
The daily high-volume consumption and improper disposal by 200+ million consumers are the primary, immediate drivers of the pollution crisis. Gracias.
Well, in the second round of the Nigeria Info I Beg to Differ debate, Silverbird International School faced Jesus Offspring Model International School. Emanuela and Ugwebu Sonia Chisom represented Silverbird. Obeyemi Kende and Fege Destiny spoke for Jesus Offspring Model International School. Both teams debated the motion that former governors should be prohibited from returning to public office. At the end of the contest, Silverbird International School emerged winners with 98 points, defeating Jesus Offspring, which scored 92 points.
If all former governors were to commit fraud, we won't ban all of them. We would investigate and punish the guilty ones. That is how the rule of law works. This debate is not about protecting the system with fear. It's about strengthening the system with accountability and voter power. I leave you with this. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
We are told that former governors should never return to office, as if one mistake defined a person forever. Is failure permanent or simply a lesson? Consider